Hello everyone, welcome back to IntelliSkills. In this video, we are going to learn about loops in Java, specifically do while and while loops. Okay. So before beginning with the video, please make sure to like this video and share it with your friends. Also subscribe to IntelliSkills if you haven't. With this, let us begin. Now say you want to print hi. This is how you print hi. Now you want to print hi 5 times. What do? Copy this, paste this 4 more times. If you run the program, you can see hi is printed 5 times, which is absolutely working. Now, what if it says that you have to print this 100 times? Will you copy and paste this 100 times? Absolutely not. It's a very tiring work. For this, Java has loops. Okay. Now, what are loops? You have a specific block of code. In this case, it is this highlighted portion, and you want to repeat this block of code certain number of times. And for this purpose, loops are there, which makes it easier and more efficient to repeat a certain block of code number of times. Okay. Now in Java, there are 3 types of loops. First is the while loop, second is do while, and third is for loop. Now in this video, we are going to focus only on while and do while loops, and in the next video we have for loop. Okay. Now you see, this is the syntax of the while loop. There is a while, and then there is a condition, and then there is in between this curly braces the code to be executed. Now if the condition is true, then the code will be executed. If the condition is false, the code will not be executed. Okay. And in while loop, the condition is checked at the first. Okay. Now first you need to initialize. Like you set the starting point for the loop, and then there is a condition, and then you have to increment or decrement. Now if the requirement is suppose print the numbers from 1 to 5, then you are supposed to increment, because it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if the requirement is print the numbers in backward order from suppose 100 to 50, then you have to decrement. Now we had written hi 5 times without loop. Now we will write hi 5 times with loop. Okay, with this while loop. Okay, let us do it. Now first we have to initialize. So let's say int counter is equal to 1, and now we say while. Now we have to provide a condition. Now how many times do we want to run hi? From the start, like we want to run it 5 times. So if the initialization, that means the starting point starts from 1. So from 1 to 5, it will be 5 times. Okay, 5 inclusive obviously. So we can say counter less than equal to 5. This is our code block. And now tell me, do we have to increment or decrement? We have to increment counter plus plus. Okay. You may not understand how this works, so we will debug the code and understand this. Okay. Let us comment out this portion, and before this, let us just run our code and check. Yes, you can see hi is printed 5 times. Okay. Let us set our debug point here and debug our code. At first, you can see counter is equal to 1. Okay. Now it enters the while loop. It checks the condition. Counter less than equal to 5. 1 is less than equal to 5, so it is true. So as it is true, it will enter the loop. First, it prints hi in the console, and then it increments counter. That means counter becomes 2. Okay. Now it again checks 2 less than equal to 5. True. So it again enters the loop. It prints another hi, and then again it increments counter. So counter becomes 3. Now it again checks counter less than equal to 5. Yes, 3 less than equal to 5. It again prints hi, increments counter. Counter becomes 4. Again the condition is true, so it enters the loop and it prints hi, and then increments counter. Counter becomes 5. 5 less than equal to 5. Yes, it again prints hi the 5th time, and counter is incremented. Counter becomes 6. Now 6 less than equal to 5. No, 6 is greater than 5. So the condition is false now. So do you think it will enter the loop? Obviously not, it will not enter the loop, it comes to the end. So you can see this is how high is printed 5 times. I hope you understood as we debug the code. Now it is not always necessary that you have to start the initialization from 1. You can start it from 5, but then you have to print it 5 times. So 5 to 10 becomes 5 times, so you have to say counter less than equal to 10. Now if you run the program, it is printed 6 times, I see. So you have to just say counter less than 10. Okay, now if you print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times it is printed. If I say plus counter and I run the program, you can see it says high 5, high 6, high 7, high 8 and high 9. Okay, so it prints counter. As it is incrementing, the value of counter is also getting changed. Okay, this is how it works. Now we have to solve another requirement, which is print the numbers from 1 to 5. So we can set the starting point as 1, counter less than equal to, we can run it up to 5 because we have to run it up to 5 because we are printing from 1 to 5. So the condition should be 1 to 5. That is why counter less than equal to 5. Now system.out.println, we have to print counter. And obviously counter will be incremented because we are printing from 1 to 5. Now let us run the program and see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I don't think we have to debug the code again. The starting point is 1. It is checking 1 less than equal to 5. As it is true, it enters, it prints 1, and again counter is incremented, counter becomes 2. Now 2 less than equal to 5. Yes, so it prints counter, which is 2, and it again increments counter by 1, which is 3. Now 3 less than equal to 5. Yes, so it prints 3, counter becomes 4. 4 less than equal to 5. Yes, so it prints 4, and then it again increments, it becomes 5. 5 less than equal to 5. Yes, prints 5. Now counter becomes 6. Now 6 less than equal to 5. No, that is why it does not enter the loop again. This is how it is printed 1 to 5. Now what if it says you have to print it in reverse order, like from 5 to 1? Then what do you think will be the starting point? 5. Now up to how much will it run? Up to 1. Okay, and then do you think we have to increment in this case as well? No, we have to decrement because 5, 4, 3 to 1. It is decrementing by 1. Now we have to change this to 5 greater than equal to 1. Let us run the program and see if it works or not. Yes, it prints 5, 4, 3 to 1. Counter is 5. 5 greater than equal to 1. Yes, so it prints 5. It decrements it by 1, so it becomes 4. 4 less than equal to 1. Yes, prints 4. Counter becomes 3. So in this way it is decrementing and the value is getting printed. You can debug this reverse order thing in your system so that you can understand it better. Okay, in do while loop, the syntax looks somewhat like this. First there is do. In do, you have to put your code to be executed. After that there is while, and then there is the condition. Over here you can see the condition is checked at the last. So even if the condition is false, the code will be at least executed once. So in while loop it is like this. First you go and ask your mother, can I go out to play? If she says yes, then only you do the chores of the house. If she says no, you don't do the chores of the house. In do while loop it is like this. First you do only one chore, that is let's say you wash the dishes, and then you go and ask your mother, can I go out to play? Then if she says yes, then you do all the other chores, and if she says no, then you don't do any other chores, but you have done one chore for her. Using do while loop, we are going to again print the numbers from 1 to 5. Let us do it. Let us comment out our while loop and we'll do while now. So int counter, we will set the initialization point as 1. Okay, now we will have our code block over here. So we print counter, okay, and then we will have our while loop, and in this parenthesis we will have our condition. What is our condition? Counter less than equal to, what will be it? 5. Yes. Okay, and obviously we have to increment in this case, so we say counter plus plus here. Okay, now if you run the program, you can see it is printed from 1 to 5. How does this work? At first counter is printed, which is 1. Then counter is incremented by 1, it becomes 2. Then the condition is checked, 2 less than equal to 5. Yes, so it again goes up and executes the do block. Counter was 2. It prints 2, counter becomes 3. It again checks 3 less than equal to 5. Yes, so it prints 3 and 3 becomes 4. So like this it is done. Now let's say counter greater than equal to 5 means 1 greater than equal to 5, which is false because 1 is less than 5, right? So if you run the program, you can see 1 is printed. The condition is false, but still at least once the code is executed. It does whatever is there in the do. Okay, once. First it prints counter, which is 1, and then it increments counter by 1, which is 2, and then it checks the condition at the last. 2 greater than equal to 5, false. So it does not execute anymore, but it is executed at least once. Now we will work with Boolean values. First with while loop and then we'll do do while loop. Okay. Now we will have a Boolean and we'll set it to true. We will again have the same requirement, print the numbers from 1 to 5. Now instead of this condition here, we will pass flag and we'll say counter plus plus because we are printing from 1 to 5. Now if you run the program, let's see what happens. So you can see so many numbers are getting printed and printed and printed. So why is it that? Because flag is always true, and whenever it sees the condition is true, it is like entering the loop, incrementing again and again and again and again. So it does not know when to stop because flag is never false. We have to make flag false. So what we can do, we can say if counter equal to 5, you can print counter and set flag to false, else flag equal to true. If you run the program, you can see it is printing only 1 2 3 4 5. Got it? Now to understand this, it is very simple. Flag is always true. It is going on and going on printing counter. It is incrementing counter as well. Nice and fine. As soon as counter strikes 5, as soon as counter becomes 5, we are printing 5 and then we are setting flag to false so that it does not enter the loop again. And else, that means if it is 1, 2, 3 or 4, we are setting flag to true so that it enters the loop again. That's how it works. Okay. As soon as it becomes 5, we are setting flag to false so that it doesn't go to 6 anymore, doesn't print 6 anymore. Okay. Now if you set flag to false, now what is going to happen? Let's see. You can see nothing is printed because flag is false. It doesn't enter the loop at first instance only. Okay. So this is how the while loop works. Now we are going to write the same thing using do while loop. Now in this do while loop, if I print counter, if I just say counter plus plus, and in this thing I will put flag. Now if you run the program, flag is true. It prints all the numbers on the planet. Okay, you can see. But if I set it to false and then I run the program, you can see it prints only 1. Okay, because even if it is false, first it does the do portion, it prints counter, increments counter, so it becomes 2, and then flag is false, it checks flag is false. That is why it stops there and there, but it is at least executed once. Now what if I only want it to print up to 5 when it is true? I can say and counter less than. If you run the program, you can see it prints only up to 5. So what is happening over here? First it does the do portion, counter is 1, it increments counter by 1, it becomes 2, and then it checks flag, which means true, and counter less than equal to 5. 2 is obviously less than equal to 5, so that is also true. both the conditions are true, that means it is true. That is why it again goes up to the loop, and like in this way it is executed. At last, when counter is incremented from 4 to 5, it checks flag and count like 5 less than equal to 5. Yes, so both are true. Again, it again prints 5, and now counter becomes 6. Now in this case, when counter is 6, 6 is less than equal to 5. No, it is greater than equal to 5. So in this case it will look like true and false. True and false means false, that is why it stops. And if this is false, so when flag is false, it will print only 1. This is our while and do while loops. Hope you like this video. Please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to IntelliSkills if you haven't. In the next video, we are going to learn about the for loop. Okay, that's it for this video. I'll meet you in the next video. Till then, keep learning, keep practicing, and keep exploring. Thank you and bye-bye.